All right, here we go. 600 Breezy. Welcome back to Vlad TV.
Back again, man.
Back again. This is our fourth time.
Damn.
I think so.
I think it is. Yeah.
Fourth time.
LA and New York 3 times.
Yeah, I saw you on the Big Facts podcast. You refer to me as your therapist.
Yeah, because it's like, we sit down and the way we talk, the relationship we got is like, the conversation be so smooth and you always know like some situations that I done went through or whatever. So it's like a therapist when I'm talking to you for real.
I'll take that as a compliment. And you actually came off of a very sad situation recently.
Yeah.
After our last interview, you lost your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. She took her own life.
Yeah.
Man, that I can't even really comprehend. I lost one of my male friends to suicide, my man Disco D.
Mm-hmm.
But never anyone that I was in a romantic relationship with.
Yeah, and it's way different than what people think. Like, because you didn't say with me, I done lost plenty friends, closest friends. But it's like when you lose. Like, it's like I feel like I lost my wife, So like, it's different. It's different. So I just advise everybody to just pay attention to their loved ones, and when they throw out signs of like depression, bipolarness, anything, like just take them serious. Because I ain't take her serious, and I regret it. Like,
was she bipolar?
I always told her that she was.
Huh.
But, I'm dealing with somebody that's just, like, beautiful, like, to the eye.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm looking at her and thinking nothing's wrong with her at all. But she has so much other deeper shit in her life going on, like, that I had no control over. So it's just like, man, she had to have, like, I don't see just, like, a person that's just, like, completely sane, just harming themselves, Like.
Yeah, I mean, my friend Disco D was bipolar.
Yeah,
but he knew it, and I'd seen his episodes. It was like he'll have these huge highs, and then suddenly he'll have this low that would last for days. And he would act kind of really erratically, and you'd just almost have to wait it out.
Yeah, and it was the same. That was my woman, so it was like I'm gonna deal with everything she come with. But it was just like the fact that we was having a little disagreement. I wouldn't come home for about 2 weeks. And it just, that was the last thing I expected her to do, So I'm just getting myself back together, man. It's my first time really outside in 6 months since it happened. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. Has she tried doing that before to any capacity? Because Disco D had multiple attempts by the time he finally actually was successful at it, or unsuccessful, unfortunately.
It's crazy because like, I went to jail that last time. When I came home, I never realized that she had cuts and stuff on her arm. Because she put them in places like it was like under the arm here, like so where you really couldn't see. So I'm fresh out of jail. I'm paying attention to my woman a lot more now, and I'm just like, well, where the hell did that come from? So she's like, I did that when I was younger. So that's where the conversations was coming in at, like, like she just like her words to me was when we first met, and I don't believe it because I just be. I've dealt with females and they always say, oh, I'm going to do something to myself. But she was so serious about it. And she like,
she said it before.
Yeah, she said it before. Like, and she expressed to me like that she felt like before she met me, she had nothing to live for, So it's like, but I'm not thinking that because she's so beautiful. Like, if like, you would think everything's together. You would think her life's together. Like, but it'd be the most beautifulest women in this world with the biggest insecurities and the biggest problems, but we don't pay attention to that, so.
Very pretty girl, man. After it happened, I looked her up and, she did the whole fitness thing and she had like a nice social media following. And, it, from the videos, it seemed like she was a happy young lady. Like you can't, from the outside looking in, I didn't, You look at like the XXX Tentaciones and you're like, okay, people like that are, okay, clearly they're going through a lot of,
out for help.
Like you could see it on their outside, what they're going through on the inside. But yeah, I couldn't tell in the least, man. And where were you when you actually got that phone call or when you saw that it happened?
I was in New York.
You're in New York.
I was at Electric Zoo. So it was like, and then there was a situation where I was just close to her. I was close to Atlanta and couldn't make it to see her. And she took that hard too. And I hadn't seen her in a few weeks, but we was going through what we go through, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't denying her or anything like that. So it was just like, we still conversated every day. I just wouldn't come home because every time I was about to come home, it'd be some type of issue. So I just, you know, but yeah, I was here. I was in New York. Got that call and it was just like to this day, I don't get it. I don't understand it. So it's like, man.
I mean, it's not for us to understand. It's an internal issue. I mean, to get to the point where you no longer want to exist is a incomprehensible idea to me. We all have our low points. We all have our sadness. We all have our loss, but you eventually get through it. Time heals all wounds. And, you know, a lot of times there's just other things, like I said, you know, bipolar disorder and other things that go on that a lot of times people don't actually go to the doctors and want to actually explore. Or maybe they did explore and they don't like the medications. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, I remember at one point I was going through some depression and they put me on antidepressants, and it made my head cloudy. And I was, after a couple pills, I said, no, I'm good. I'll just deal with it.
Because you knew it was like, nah, this feeling not right.
Yeah, no,
right.
I didn't like it. And I think a lot of people who go through depression probably take those pills and they just don't like the way they feel. So they're like, I'll just deal with it myself. Or maybe I'll deal with it with my own drugs, or I'll deal with it with a person and so forth. And yeah, man, it's sad. I mean, you cried when you heard the news?
Man, you know, of course. You know, I haven't cried in a long time, bro. Like, so it's like, you know, even when my friends die, like, even when Ide died, it took me a while to cry because there was just so much anger. But with this situation, it's like, it's not no street shit. You can't go retaliate or can't go do nothing else.
No,
like, I'm just mentally, like, at a pause. Like, I feel like I'm finished mentally. Like, just honestly. So it's just like, life just different. I just do a lot of things differently right now because I don't really feel like I'm here all the way because she took my happiness, she took my joy, like, and then left me with, what if I would have did this way? What if I would have just went home, man? You know, what if I would have responded to those text messages? What if I would have, you know, like, just, it's like, I feel like I was being selfish, but that's just how, you know, like, that's just how it is. I'm gonna play the blame game with myself.
You can't blame yourself, man. Yeah. If someone wants to do that, there's nobody that could stop them from doing that. You know, I remember me and Scarface talked about this because Scarface was suicidal at certain points. He said the coldest thing the first time I interviewed him. He said, "It's never too late to quit." And the way he said it was so cold, was so to the point.
Did he mean that like it's never too late to just end it?
It's never too late. You could always quit. And nobody can stop you from quitting. That's like, if that's what you want to do.
We already have an expiration date, you know?
We do,
like,
exactly.
But it's like, what can you be going through mentally to inflict that type of pain? Like, you don't know what type of pain you're about to go through, if you're going to suffer or anything, you know? Like,
how did she do it?
Like, she shot herself.
She shot herself?
Shot herself in the head, yep. Laying in the same bed that we made love in, like, and laid in, and that's why I just left. I left everything in the house.
You didn't want to go back to that house?
I left clothes, shoes. I started over, literally, like, with life. I left everything. I even left some jewelry. Like, I didn't want nothing that was in that house because I just felt like her spirit was just going to be there, you know?
But you got to go back to Chicago and spend time with your kids and get that love from another place. You know what I'm saying?
I had to go
different type of love, but still love nonetheless.
Yeah. I had to focus on what was important. Like that was the love of my life. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, but nothing's more important than them children I gotta raise. And you know what I'm saying? My kids are big. Like, my son about to be 11. My daughter just turned 7. I don't have time to be sitting around depressed and, like, you know, because I actually wanted to kill myself, and
you wanted to kill yourself over this?
Like, I just wanted to die. Like, I didn't want to be here no more because it's just I didn't understand. Like, so I didn't understand. So it was like I was back doing shit like, I was taking perks, a lot of oxys, ecstasy, like, because I was just at a head point. I just cried every day. And it was like, what else to do?